Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Hendy, the Android Authority app guy, and in this video, we're going to round up the 15 best designed games from 2014. Assassin's Creed Pirates was actually released in mid-December of 2013, but that's close enough for us. The game features sweeping landscapes and ocean views that are among the best that you'll see on mobile. The combat system is elegant and authentic, which is a surprise given that this is mostly a tap-to-play sort of game. It's one of the precious few video game crossovers that have been successful, and it's clear that a lot of work went into this one. The Banner Saga looks like it was animated by Disney circa 1990, and that gives it an undeniable charm. There is also a soundtrack that is far above average for a mobile game, and that adds to the ambiance of the title as a whole. The gameplay is simple and elegant, and the story is a twisting and winding path where gamers choose their stories through their actions. It hits all the right buttons unless you don't like strategy RPGs. Deus Ex: The Fall is an action RPG developed by Square Enix and released earlier this year on Android. It features very good graphics and music, which are two areas that Square Enix has historically excelled at. The story isn't amazing, but it drives the game forward. The gameplay mechanics are very interesting because you can play a stealth-based game or go all-out action if you prefer, and we like that you have that option. It's had its problems with bugs, but other than that, it's really good. Duet is a game that shows that minimalism can look good too. The game has you spinning two balls around an axis to avoid obstacles that are falling toward you, which get progressively harder to avoid. Little things in this game like seeing the paint splatters on obstacles you hit during prior attempts and challenges to complete levels in a certain amount of moves are a nice touch, and the soundtrack is better than anyone could reasonably expect from a game like this. It's a great time waster, no doubt about it. Eliss Infinity was originally an iOS exclusive dating all the way back to 2009 and was finally released on Android in 2014. The game uses multi-touch to let you move, combine, split, and otherwise play with planets and stars in a little universe. The retro-style graphics, minimal interface, unique soundtrack, and fun animations work together to bring a game that is way more fun than it looks. There is also no in-app purchases, which is always a good thing. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2 is a horror survival game that has literally stolen the genre all for itself. The premise is you're working as a security guard who is overlooking a pizzeria with some really creepy animatronics. If they catch you without your Freddy Fazbear head on, you're a dead person. There is above average graphics with simple gameplay mechanics along with some really brilliant lighting that both illuminates and hides some genuinely creepy characters. It's actually kind of scary. Deus is a simulation game where you play God and rule a world populated by people. The graphics have a cartoon quality to them, but the world around it is almost totally customizable by you. You can create lakes or dry them up, or build mountains and tear them down, and you can even throw meteors at people. All the while you control and watch over humanity. It's a fun game, but the sandbox style is something unique, and we really like that. Leo's Fortune was originally demoed at Google I/O earlier this year, and that automatically launched this game into stardom. Thankfully, it's actually pretty good. The controls are easy to learn and use sides of the screen rather than some weird gestures or on-screen keypads, and that adds a level of simplicity that perfectly augments the difficulty of the levels. The graphics and scenery are very colorful and eye-catching, and this may be among the most beautiful 2D platformers ever made. It would be blasphemy to not include Monument Valley on this list, so we included it on this list. Every level is an optical illusion built into a puzzle built into another optical illusion that is just pleasing to play. The pastel colors and simple but surprisingly effective storyline and music all line up perfectly to create an unforgettable gaming experience. It's charmed the shoes off of pretty much everyone who's ever played it, with the only real complaint being how short it is. At first glance, Play to Cure Genes in Space doesn't look like anything special, but it's all in the details. The game was developed by Cancer Research UK. What it does is borrow some of your phone's processing power to crunch numbers for cancer research. In the game, you collect Element Alpha, which you trade in for upgrades, all the while a small part of your system is crunching numbers in the name of cancer research. Everyone should have this game and play it at least a little bit every week. Republic is an action-adventure game where you play as a guy who hacked into the security cameras of a huge complex and you're using them to help a woman escape captivity. The graphics are far above average and the gameplay is something unique and enjoyable. Combine that with the story that leaves you almost in a constant state of suspense and you have a game that really stands apart from the others. It is episodic, so new episodes will be released as in-app purchases. The Room 2 is a puzzle game that relies a lot on hidden clues and intricate puzzles that are built into various objects inside the game. It has amazing graphics and the puzzles carry you on a story that is arcane and dark. To give you an idea of how much people like this game, it has a 4.9 out of 5-star rating on the Google Play Store with over 80,000 reviews. It's a masterpiece in the puzzle game genre and makes other puzzle games look unpolished and amateur by comparison. Shadow Fight 2 was already a popular Facebook game when it was released on Android, but that doesn't take away from how good the game is. It's a 2D fighting game that uses silhouettes instead of character sprites, and the backgrounds are colorful and artsy. This gives it an oddly relaxing and calming feeling that contrasts nicely with the intensity of one-on-one hand-to-hand combat. Add to that some fun moves, fluid animations, and interesting touch controls, and you have a fighting game worth playing. Smash Hit is an infinite runner that was released earlier this year. As far as infinite runners go, Smash Hit is gorgeous. Instead of avoiding obstacles, you throw metal balls at panes of glass to avoid getting hit by the glass. If you get hit too many times, it's game over. It features smoky, dark, and colorful levels that work well with the simplicity of the game and the glass objects. This gives the game a sort of sophisticated feeling that is generally uncommon in infinite runners. Telltale Games have been on fire this year with their Walking Dead and Game of Thrones franchises. Both games feature above-average graphics that are set in the world of their respective TV shows in a way that lets people experience the story from a more peripheral perspective. In both cases, Telltale Games manages to do extremely well conveying the feel of the TV show in the video game format, and they manage to make the games fun to play. Once again, I'm Joe Hindy from AndroidAuthority.com. While you're here, why not subscribe to the Android Authority YouTube channel? If you're hanging out for a minute, we have a couple of awesome videos for you to watch right over there, and they're also linked in the video description below for you folks on mobile. Finally, don't forget to check out the written companion, which is in the video description below, and you'll also find all of the app links in the video description below. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful day.